Sometimes we believe that forgetting is enough, that time on its own erases wounds, that it is enough not to think about what hurt so that it ceases to exist. But the body never forgets. It keeps in silence what the mind tries to hide, like a living archive of all our experiences, emotions, and traumas. Deepak Chopra reminds us that our biology is memory, that every cell stores information, and that when the mind insists on repressing, the body becomes the guardian of what has not been resolved. That is why pain so often appears in the form of illness, anxiety, chronic fatigue, unexplained aches, insomnia, or even in the inability to trust or to fully surrender in relationships. Today, we are going to explore why the body remembers what the mind wants to forget, and above all, how to heal from Chopra's perspective, by integrating mind, body, and spirit in a process of liberation and transformation. Imagine that the mind is a narrator and the body is an archive. The mind can alter the story, change words, reinterpret a memory so that it hurts less. But the body's archive does not lie. The real emotion remains stored there. Fear, anger, sadness, humiliation, helplessness. When we do not express an emotion, it does not disappear. It turns into muscle tension, shallow breathing, sudden palpitations, stomach pain, stiffness, migraines. Chopra says that the body is the stage where unresolved emotions are represented. And every symptom is, in fact, a message. Has it ever happened to you that you had pain with no medical explanation? Or that, in a moment of great stress, you had such a strong contraction that it seemed impossible to release? That is not by chance. It is the body shouting what the mind keeps quiet. Western science once thought that memory was only in the brain. However, current research supports what Chopra has been saying for decades, that the whole body stores emotional memories. One example is the phenomenon of transplants. People who receive an organ sometimes report changes in tastes, emotions, or memories. Although science still debates this, Chopra uses it as a metaphor to show how each cell vibrates with information. When we go through a traumatic experience, the unresolved emotions remain recorded in our nervous system. The body develops an imprint that can later be activated in similar situations. That is why someone who suffered a loss may feel tightness in the chest each time they face a farewell. Or someone who lived through violence may tense their whole body during an argument, even if it is small. The mind has strategies to survive. One of them is repression, hiding the unbearable in a dark corner. But what is repressed does not disappear. It lives in the body, waiting for the moment to come out. Chopra explains that forgetting is not healing. It is like hiding rubbish under the carpet. We do not see it, but it is still there, contaminating. And the more we try to control, the stronger it becomes in the unconscious. What the mind wants to forget are those experiences it could not process. A painful childhood, an abusive relationship, grief, betrayal, and intense fear. These are the memories we think no longer affect us until the body reminds us. In Chopra's view, every symptom carries a message. Pain does not come to annoy us. It comes as a teacher. 1. Back or neck pain, often linked to emotional burdens and unspoken responsibilities. 2. Digestive problems related to the inability to digest difficult experiences. 3. Insomnia reflects a restless mind, unresolved emotions that seek to surface at night. 4. Chronic fatigue appears when we have spent too long repressing and disconnecting from what we feel. When we listen to the body instead of silencing it with immediate medication, we can begin to understand which part of our story wants to be attended to. Chopra does not speak only of biology, but of energy. According to him, we are a field of consciousness and vibration. Unresolved emotions are energetic blockages that prevent life from flowing freely. When we feel anger and do not express it, that energy stagnates. When we feel fear and deny it, that vibration remains trapped. The result is that our body begins to function in disharmony. Healing, then, is not erasing the memory, but releasing the trapped energy so that it can flow again. The inevitable question is, how do I release what my body is holding? Chopra proposes an integral path that combines physical, emotional, and spiritual practices. 1. Mindful awareness. The first step is recognition, to bring light where before there was shadow. When a symptom appears, instead of judging or ignoring it, ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? 2. Breathing and meditation. Conscious breathing helps to unlock bodily memories. Chopra recommends meditation practices that are not about thinking of nothing, but about allowing awareness to observe and embrace. 3. Movement, yoga, dancing, gentle stretching, all are ways of releasing trapped energy. The body needs to move in order to let go of what was stored. 4. Emotional expression, writing, speaking, crying, shouting in a safe space. Anything that allows the emotion to come out of the prison where it was kept. 5. Healing the past with compassion. Chopra insists that healing is not reliving the pain, but giving it new meaning. We cannot change what happened, but we can choose how to integrate it into our story. Chopra proposes the concept of the silent witness, the part of us that observes without judging. When we learn to live from that place, we can look at our wounds without fully identifying with them. Instead of saying, I am anxious, we begin to say, I feel anxiety at this moment. That small change opens the door to freedom. It is not about justifying what was done to us, but about freeing ourselves from the poison we carry inside. Chopra explains that forgiveness is not a gift to the other, it is a gift to oneself. It means letting go of the emotional burden that keeps us tied. Forgiving is allowing the body to stop being on alert, to let the trapped energy flow, and to be able to create a new life. In Chopra's vision, the body is not an enemy. It is an ally. It is our companion on the spiritual journey. Every symptom is a sign that brings us closer to awakening. The body remembers what the mind wants to forget, because it knows that the only way to heal is to integrate, not to deny. The body insists because it wants us to awaken to the truth. We are greater than our wounds. Healing is not going back to who we were before the pain. Healing is becoming someone more conscious, wiser, more compassionate. Chopra affirms that inside us there is an infinite intelligence that always seeks balance. When we surrender to that force, life begins to reorder itself. The body is relieved, the mind calms, the heart opens. To integrate this teaching, Chopra proposes a simple exercise. 1. Sit in a quiet place. 2. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. 3. Bring your attention to a part of the body where you feel tension or pain. 4. Gently ask it, what emotion are you holding here? 5. Do not force the answer, simply listen. 6. Imagine that you send light and compassion to that place. 7. Allow the emotion to be expressed. It may be a memory, a cry, a sigh. 8. Thank the body for showing you what needed to be released. This exercise, repeated with patience, begins to unlock memories stored for years. The best way to avoid the body having to remind us of what we repress is to live in coherence, to say what we feel, to listen to our needs, to set boundaries, to care for our rest, to choose relationships that nourish us. Every time we act against what we feel, the body records it. Every time we align with our truth, the body breathes in peace. Your body remembers what the mind wants to forget, because you did not come into this world to live asleep, fragmented or divided. You came to integrate. You came to awaken. Chopra reminds us that healing is not running away from pain, but going through it with awareness. True healing happens when we listen to the hidden message behind each symptom and allow energy to flow again. If today you feel that your body speaks to you with tiredness, pain, or anxiety, do not ignore it. Perhaps it only wants to remind you of something your mind buried. Not to make you suffer, but to invite you to free yourself once and for all. Healing is remembering who you truly are, a whole, infinite, and luminous being.